This is one of our biggest oak trees on the property. Best guess is it's at least 150 years old, maybe more. It's huge. I know there's bigger trees on the earth, but pretty happy that this one's here and staying here.
Right.
It is full of this ball, actually this cool pointer, ball moss. That is not hurting the tree. It has formed kind of a symbiotic relationship to it. So there are little bugs that hang out in there and that live in there. It gets moisture from the trees, gets moisture from just the rains, and birds will eat some of the bugs inside. So it's kind of a beneficial thing. However, if the ball moss is on the buds or the new growth, it will prevent it from sprouting out new growth. So that part is a little concerning, but that's what's in all of our oak trees around here. Funny thing, I've seen people sell those on Etsy, no joke, as rare Texas like air plant. 3 for $16, like something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is nuts.
And people from out of state don't know that how prolific it is here. I mean, this is like gold mine right here.
It's a trendy, like I've seen people do like wall planters with those, like in Colorado where I just recently moved from, and it cracks me up. I'm like, baby, they on the ground.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're cute to put in a little terrarium or just spray. Some people will put them on a dried out cactus and make like a little sign. I like that kind of stuff. I haven't done that with those though. I like plants. I like herbs and stuff I can use in my kitchen and stuff like that. So this is different territory for me. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I told my boss that you can buy them online. No way.
You ever need to find one.
Yeah.
Black white women that will descend upon your life.
So where we just walked, this used to be the old entrance, I guess. But now it is just a maintenance gate or emergency gate. So when people are down here swimming, if there's an incident, we let them in that way. If y'all do have people who would like to come here and who need mobility assistance, we can definitely help them out. We bring them to right here. And I wish it would go all the way down to the water. They are pretty close, so we do like to help people out. So spread the word. I want everyone to be able to be here. But here's a little diagram of the well system itself. So the water's coming from way down underground.
Yeah, got a little skink baby over there. Yep. Just doing his little boop boop.
Oh,
by the base of the tree. Yep.
Aw. Yeah, lizards and stuff are definitely coming out this time. That's good news. Staying warm while he's trying to find a mate.
Good luck. Good luck.
Doing his little head bob.
Not your girl.
Yeah, the water's coming from way down underground from an area called Cow Creek. I used to think it was just an underground creek, but there's lots of cracks and crevices. And that contributes to the water being able to get down into the ground through epikarst and sinkholes and fractures. And then it comes up here out of the spring. So very highly skilled scuba divers have mapped out about a mile's worth of the cave. So entrance, even though this looks kind of funny, this is the entrance here. So they explored out to the small cave that's around 1,300 feet long. That's a small cave. You can see how long this one is, 4,300 feet long. Very brave humans. By no means is this like the actual end. That's just as far as a human body can physically get. It is ever changing down there. There's constant water flowing. Fingers crossed as long as we take care of the land around here. And rocks down there moving. So there's some areas that are so big you could fit a whole car in it. There's a 10-foot stretch that's 14 inches tall for them to go through one room to the other room. So we don't allow recreational scuba diving. It is only for people on the Jacob's Well exploration project. It doesn't matter how curious or brave you are. You have to apply to them to be able to go down there. Yes. So this was all created because we are surrounded by this limestone. Limestone very easily erodes when there's even a small amount of acidity in rain or water. So we did not create this ourselves in any form. Even though it's called a well, it's actually a natural artesian spring, which means there is no man-made pump helping the water come out of the ground. It's pretty amazing. And it works a little, Yeah, the sun's still down a little bit, so it's kind of hard to see into the spring itself, but around noon, when that sun's up top, you can see right down to the first shelf. So you can see down to 25 feet, and the cave system starts going this way. So when y'all drove in or walking around up there, we're walking on top of these submerged caves, and you didn't even know it.
Wow.
So I'll give y'all a moment. Some people think this is a wishing well. I see 2 pennies.
Oh God. Are you kidding?
I see 3 pennies.
The level of rage.
What goes in needs to come out.
Yeah. Water is beautiful.
It is.
It's not crowded because we're in our aquatic restoration period. That is necessary to do annually. I know the ground on here, or the bottom, might not look too inviting for a human, but this is prime real estate for fish and turtles and all the other species you cannot see without a microscope. Before hundreds of people come in with their sunscreen and all that sort of jazz.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that we. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta make money
So.
somehow.
Again, this land was set aside to be a park back in 2010, thanks to a gentleman who moved in up top that way. Started an environmental group to work with the local landowners. So this area was always private and kind of like a pizza pie. So people shared different corners into the well. Super strange to think about. There used to be a fence that went down here. Come on.
Yeah.
So we are now in the process of keeping this restored and finding that balance between recreating and protecting this nice, beautiful source. This is a huge area of biodiversity and ecological importance. There are upwards of 40 plus fish spawning beds along this area. I've been keeping count of every year. I've only been here for 4 years, but I've noticed that it declines instantly when the swim season starts. Last year was like 54 spawn beds, and I swear it went down to 32 after 2 weeks. So either the fish decided they couldn't do it and they moved downstream, or I don't know. But we do get people coming in from all over the world here, at least 50 different countries, and I love that part. Obviously, this looks awesome to jump in and super inviting, so I love that people have that connection to the place and be able to jump in. But it is the source of a spring. This is where the water is first coming out of the ground. This is, again, prime real estate for fish and turtles. Every morning there's fish and turtles here. So when people are jumping in, you're jumping in with them. So we do swimming here by reservation only, starting May 1st. There are 4 2-hour time slots. You do share that with a max of 60 people every 2 hours. Which is a lot of people for just a 12-foot hole.
Yeah.
During
I don't like that many people.
Exactly.
During the peak pandemic, we were able to go down to 45. We were able to argue that very strongly for personal space, safety, the health of the ecosystem. We are going back up to 60 though, from what I've been told. So all hands on deck. It will be very busy here. We've sold out almost, if not every Saturday, for the whole month of May and June already.
Wow.
Yes. So we're on all sorts of people's bucket lists from all over the world. I don't blame them. This is a little pocket of paradise. If you can imagine being the gentleman who was shown this piece of property before it was set aside, like you hit the mother lode. This is your backyard. I would cry.
I would too.
And I would want to protect it too and share it with other people. So again, in order to have that balance of letting nature be able to heal itself and recreating, because it looks really nice to jump in, we do have to keep a cap on that to enable to share it with everybody.
Yeah, and people still wear sunscreen.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've actually been talking about that this year, and there's not really a way to enforce what type of sunscreen people use or how far in advance they put it on from jumping in. We're not
down before entry.
Yeah.
Can't take me anywhere.
So we are trying to find a way to reach out to folks and just educate before you were to come here. I mean, you treat it like any place. If this was your spring in your backyard, you probably wouldn't want to be jumping in with a bunch of sunscreen. So just raising the awareness that we're not the only ones here. Absolutely not. I see some fish hanging out. So we have a lot of sunfish. So y'all notice this crack all up and down here? So I believe that is a huge contributor of how this was made. So the ground way underground is like slipping, and then the abundance of water under there coming up with the rain coming down and eroding this created this beauty here. And last I checked this morning, we're looking at 1,200 gallons of water coming out every minute. So there's a piece of equipment about 40 feet down that will constantly be able to tell you the temperature, the flow rate, how clear it is, all that sort of stuff. And that is the second group of people who's allowed to dive down here, so they are able to go down and calibrate the equipment. There are some people who like to free dive. So they put on the fins and a wetsuit. Some people claim they got down to 50 feet. I don't know, that's pretty far. But I know some do. They come up holding their ears. Obviously, it's gonna hurt.
Like, yeah.
I've tried to like crawl down the side there. It didn't work too well because again, you got water coming up at you. So it's actually really hard to get down. So a lot of kids will come here and they're like, oh my God, that's scary. It's a dark abyss. I'm gonna get sucked down. But you won't get sucked down. This is the only dark abyss that's your friend. This is the only dark side I try to tell kids that will be, that's okay. So it will make you float. So a lot of kids overcome their fears here in that sense. Just takes some talking into. So yeah, when people are swimming, they're jumping off of these rocks around here and these top ones.
Jumping where?
Jumping into here. So yeah, people swim and jump into here. So that's what the reservation is for.
That is the most pure question. I was just like, from where?
From where?
Off what rock? Like, how? What are you talking? Into this hole right here?
I gotta stop pointing with this book I found. Yeah, this one right here, that one up there.